TGO, Tom Gruenwald Outdoors, is brought to you in part by HT Premium Ice Tackle, Polar Fire Gear. This is how it's done. Vexilar, ice fishing begins when you turn your Vexilar on. And Tourism Saskatchewan, Canada's best freshwater fishing.
That up, Tom. Here it is. Go. Now we're ready to go.
Hello everyone and welcome to Tom Gruenwald Outdoors. I'm Tom Gruenwald and I am excited. One of my favorite things to do is get out and go pike fishing with tip-ups. We're in beautiful South Dakota, and let me tell you what, people think about South Dakota as perch, maybe walleyes, and they have no reason not to believe that because there's some excellent walleye and perch fishing out here. There are a lot of other species you can catch too, and one of them is pike. The pike fisheries are absolutely booming right now in South Dakota. With all of these new sloughs and things that are being formed and new flooded waters, there's tons of habitat, and there are lots and lots of fish out here to catch. Best part of it is we're on a really good lake that's known for producing 25 to 30 inch fish, if not bigger. Got a realistic shot at a 15 to 20 pound pike out here. Also have along with us HT Pro staff member Dennis Foster, who knows these waters really, really well and is an expert with using the magnetic pop-up tip-ups for catching big fish. He's got some great systems we're going to be able to employ here today. Also have local fishing legend Rick Smith, who really knows the particular waters that we're fishing today. We've picked out a couple of primary spots. Got a big, large vegetated bay that drops down into some of the deepest water in the lake, and there's a big hard bottom rock point that extends off on one side of that. The advantage to that kind of situation, that kind of structure, is there's a diversity of forage between that hard bottom and the soft bottom, the vegetation. Perfect spot for holding numbers of pike and possibly even a few walleyes in there as the day wears on. Usually not going to catch them during the middle of the day, but those walleyes occupying a little bit different niche still feed on that same forage, so we got a mixed bag potential here. In addition, got another place picked out. There's a lot of flooded timber. You got downed logs, stumps, actual flooded trees, and you got 7 to 10 feet of water around these trees. And for some reason, pike really do hold in that sort of cover. And I think part of it is just their long bodies. They kind of camouflage themselves in amongst that wood. And it really seems to be a productive way of finding these fish. So we got two really good spots on a really good lake with some really good fishermen. That's an excellent combination for anybody. Let's go out and see if we can catch a few big South Dakota pike. I'm ready to go, get these guys started to get some holes drilled and lay a few tip-ups in. I'm hoping the action's gonna start real soon. All right, is he going, Dennis?
He just stopped. He was turning it and he just stopped, so hopefully he's working on swallowing it. We had a ways to walk to get over here, so maybe that was his second run. We just as well try it. We're getting so many bites, we can't dally with these too much and spend as much time as I typically do.
And they'll always bite. The fish will always go on the far end of the set, and then it'll be the other end of the set,
Yep.
right?
And, I think he's there because the spool's slowly turning. I just backed a little pressure off. I'll take some pressure off. I'll give that to you.
All right.
Oh, it took me a minute to catch up to him. Ooh, a lot of head shake. She's a pike.
Oh, all right, well, there you go.
I try not to let them flop on the ice, these little guys like that, because they're gonna be a twisted mess.
Well, I got most of that wrapped up while you were we were going. He took quite a run. Yeah, that fluorocarbon leader is actually working out okay.
I was just going to
isn't it?
mention that, yeah. It's been something I've been playing with for a couple of years, trying to strike a balance, because what we run into in South Dakota is we are bothered by a lot of pike, if you want to call it bothered. But the issue that we have is I used to run a lot of mono leaders and purposely snap like these little guys off. Then you end up running into a huge pike, and then he snaps himself off when you want the darn thing. So
right.
I'm thinking this is about the right balance.
Yeah, no, that's a 17-pound, you said, leader?
No, actually I went to 30.
30, okay.
I was running 17 for quite a while last year. It will get most of your pike in. But the problem of it is if you get that 15, 20 pound class fish and he's got that where it's rubbing across his teeth, I just don't feel strong enough about it.
Yep.
You know, this is about the right balance because it's not terribly kinky. So it's letting these baits work for us. You can see that. So I don't think we've went too heavy on that end, just heavy enough to make it work for us. And yet let the bait do its thing so we get the bites, because without the bites, it's all academic from there.
And you feel it is important in this clear water to try to have that fluorocarbon or that lighter leader as opposed to using wire.
Exactly, you know, because I think that's going to push a few of the bass away. It's darn sure going to have an impact on the walleye bite. So, you know, we're just trying to get a happy medium here.
There you go.
You're watching TGO, Tom Gruenwald Outdoors.
Well, Dennis, that's the third one on this point out here.
Yeah, I think his days are numbered. He's still rolling there.
Well, that's been the case each time. What do you think this?
You know, I don't know. I've
is?
had bass be kind of stupid acting before too, but in my heart of hearts, I want to say it's a walleye being a smart guy. So we're about due for one.
Well, okay. Let's see if you can make it happen.
Well, I'm tired of this guy. We're going to make it happen. Just pull straight away, and I'm going to go for him right away. Oh, my.
Oh my goodness.
If this is a walleye.
Oh, we got the walleye of walleyes.
Oh, my.
That one made a hard run, folks, when you said, you got some weight? You feel the weight?
I'm going to have to say big pike.
Okay. We're in pretty good shape here. I'm picking up line behind you with the spool.
Exactly. Yep,
Dennis.
you're doing just a perfect thing for me there.
And I'm aimed right down.
Sure he's going to want to run.
If he wants to run, just let me know. We got your back. Yeah, this made one of those fast runs. Line sliding through Dennis's hand. And that's classic. Big pike, could be a big walleye, but more than likely we're talking about a big pike.
He's closer.
Yep.
Got weeds now. I can't see well.
That's all right. Easy. Watch the bobber.
The bobber. Yep. Come right back. Oh, he's being a real treat here. Oh, it's a big pike.
Okay, easy. Just keep the line tight. When you get these big fish on, you don't want to rush them. You just want to keep tension on the line. Try to get their head up into the turned into the hole.
Get them started, which I'm having a little trouble with.
That's what you always will. Usually you're going to get 2, 3, maybe 4 runs, 5. Depends. Oh, the head, you're going down after that one. Oh!
We got.
You got yourself a big pike. And,
and I fished 10-inch holes for a reason.
Yeah, well, that fish came up and kissed you.
I got his nose buried.
Yes, you do. He rinsed his head off and oh my goodness, look at the size of this pike.
As you notice, we're not using a wire leader, therefore I put a little more effort into it because I did not want to take any chances. When I initially set the hook, it had a very wide head shake, and it concerned me with raking that across the teeth or the gill rakers.
Yep. Well, we finally got the fish on this point. Three times we had something hit really hard out here on that big chub, and I dropped it, and of course right away you start thinking, walleye. But I'll tell you what, big pike can be a little fussy and get away too. Wow, look at the size of that fish.
And I tell you, I got to say that's all a 20. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. Let's just try to rinse it off a little bit here so everybody can see her. And the fact here, Dennis, too, is we're catching fish like this right here in South Dakota. You know, one of the most heavily populated parts of the state, actually.
You know, this isn't a fluke.
Yeah, that's a 20-pound pike, real easy. Just turn the head here and look at the size of the head and look at the thickness of this fish. All right, let's put a tape on that fish, Dennis. Lift that thing out.
See what tail of the tape.
Right, you want to take a guess?
Oh, it's over 40 anyway.
Well, I can probably tell you what. There you go.
Heck yeah. Maybe not. It's just heavy.
She's about
36,
35 and a half, approximately. Now, we got the bend in the fish there, so.
Yeah, but it's going to get us
But
close.
it's right in that neighborhood.
It's just
about 36.
The interesting thing is how thick it is across the back.
Yes.
Fish are just so healthy.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Send him back.
Let's put her back in. Yeah, that fish deserves to go back and spawn and keep this population of pike strong.
And
woo!
Not hurting it.
Pike fishing in South Dakota, right there, folks. I mean, we're having an outstanding day here.
There's more fishing action to come right here on TGO.
Hey, and welcome back to the second half of our show. Now we're on our primary pike spot. This is where we wanted to get to. We weren't sure with all the snow and slush if it was going to be something that we could actually access, but I'll tell you what, using Mike's snow bear, we drove right to the place we wanted to go. We also picked up local fishing legend Rick Smith, who knows this area really well. So in addition to having a great location, a great fishery, we've got some great fishermen. Hey, let's see if we can pick up where we left off, catch some more trophy South Dakota pike. Got him. It's not a real big fish. We got something. Yeah, not a bad little northern. Nice action. There you go. Action fish. I'll tell you what, we have not been on this spot for very long at all. And we're right into them. I had a hit on this and that fish came back. Rick's got a nice heavy mono leader on here, gives us lots of line capacity. The spoon to give us a little flash and vibration. Just a standard wire leader running to about a number 6 or number 4 treble. Simple rig, that's all it takes. We'll let this fish go and get this baited back up. There, see if we catch another big one. Oh. Okay, this is unbelievable. Okay, we had a flag on this thermal and missed the fish, came back. Something hit it a few minutes later. Now I'm just putting this down and I had a hit as I was dropping the minnow. Got him. I didn't even get a chance to set the tip up in. Feels like a good fish too. I'm getting some nice head shakes. There he is. Woo! Talk about fast action. I mean, I can't even put a line in the water, and these pikes are hitting it right away. And I think the flash of that spoon is a big help. I'm telling you, just sometimes adding a little bit of flash, whether it's a bead, a spoon, a spinner, just something to help the fish find the bait. It's huge. All right, we'll let this one go. Go down there and grow a little bit. Tell you what, the tip-up action has been so hot, I really haven't had much of a chance to jig, but I do enjoy jigging for pike. Usually a little longer rod, something with a little bit of tip action, good solid backbone, and a heavy leader, and just a larger size spoon, crankbait, blade bait, anything you can tip with a minnow head or a small minnow will catch pike. And you can use the tip-up set to kind of judge where you want to fish for those pike with the jig rods. I mean, if you start seeing some good action on a certain side of your tip-ups or at a certain depth, it's always a great idea to have a few extra holes jigged in between. First of all, if you want, you can, of course, move tip-ups, kind of leapfrog them around. At the same time, if you got an extra line available, you can also do a little bit of jigging. So I don't know how much time I'm going to actually have to do this, because every time I try, a flag goes up, and of course there goes another one right now. So I'm going to go run over and get that. If I get it tomorrow time, I'll keep up and do this jigging thing too. Oh, this has been the hot hole today. Oh, we got him. It's funny how one side of that point gets so hot.
More fishing action online at tgofishing.com.
Still there.
So right now, probably that fish stopped and is turning and swallowing that,
Right.
that
And
minnow.
a lot of times what you can do too is allow yourself some line. This
Yeah.
fish has no pressure on it. He doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
You know, he's got some slack. If he wants to take some more, he certainly can. And then he can take and pull it off the spool again. You know, one thing I tried to turn this is to touch on this. This little orange dot's a great indicator
Yeah.
of what's going on, because it's kind of tough to watch that spool spin, especially if you've got slush and ice in your hole.
Yeah, the combination of the orange dot and of course the magnet too is shiny. So when you look down
Right.
that hole, you can see the magnet on the spool
As this flips
Yep.
around right there. Yep.
and the orange dot. That combination, it makes a good indicator. Well, we could probably go ahead.
I would say so.
Say
Go
take
ahead
him,
and
huh?
Take him and I'll run the body.
Reel up. You got a good angle there.
Got him. I'll try to keep the line picked up for you.
Coming through a lot of weeds.
Decent.
I don't know.
Oh, is he in
Well,
the weeds?
Yeah, I don't know. We might have lost him out of that. There was a lot of heavy vegetation on there. See, he,
Give up on him yet?
no, I didn't give up because I think he might still be. He might still be in there. Yeah.
Before, and lo and behold, you got a fish.
Yeah, no, I might have felt the head shake there yet.
Something's
yeah.
shaking. That
Yeah,
ain't a
oh, yeah.
weed.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I was
now
pulling.
What I'm doing is just letting him run off the spool. By picking up all that line, we didn't have it catching and dragging on the ice and potentially
Losing
ripping the
that
hooks
fish.
loose.
You know, so it could be a little bit. Could be a little bit bigger fish. And again, we might have one of those where we have to kind of dig through all the vegetation to find and see what we've got in there, right? Didn't like it when I brought his head up to the hole. Look at
No,
that.
he didn't.
Pulled it right out of my hand. Come on, fish.
Yeah.
No, there's a bobber. I still haven't seen it. I have no
I was just
idea.
gonna say, you can at least let us look at him. He's not, and I'm using my thumb as a drag here as well.
Twice there, he just kind of grabbed at that and he pulled that line right out of my hand. I can't get his head to the hole, so I'm wondering how big this fish is. Again, if there's a lot of weeds on him, sometimes it's hard to tell.
If you need help once you get his head lined up, just let me know.
Oh yeah, I'll holler.
You've seen me dive before.
Again, I don't want to get that bobber caught when he makes one of those runs. I don't want my hand below the bobber.
Big pike.
Oh yeah, that's a monster pike. Now we got to get the head turned. That's going to be the hard part here, Dennis. I got to get his head. Oh boy, is that a big pike? Oh, here we go. There it is. I got it. Got him.
I
Do they
don't
grow
know if
big?
it's textbook,
Do
but
they?
it's efficient.
You have the water-resistant sleeve. Nice grab. Yeah, you know, I just couldn't tell. That fish came swimming toward me so hard, and then it got down in the weeds, and you could feel it pulling.
Look
pulling
at
the weeds.
look at the bulge
Belly.
in the belly, and I'll just guarantee you, that's baby crappies and bluegills in there. That's
Just packed.
just
packed.
a pig.
Again, the green weeds, and that fish. Oh, that's a nice one. Very
You know,
nice
what we'll
fish.
do here. I'm gonna just go ahead and sacrifice that later so we can visit about it.
Here we go. That's a nice pike. Look at
You
the
bet.
size of the
Just-
girth and the
Just
oh,
healthy.
beautiful pike. Man, I like fishing tip-ups in South Dakota.
You bet. You know, and it's anything goes type of game here too. You know, we've had a couple species of bass. You know, some walleyes will start later. You know, obviously the pike are going to help us out and play with us a bit.
Nice and easy.
Oh! Well,
Hey everyone, it's been a terrific day out here on the ice. Phenomenal, really. There were a lot of times we didn't just have a flag up on the tip-ups. We had 2, 3, or even 4 up at one time. Absolutely incredible. You know, the reason that we're able to enjoy that action is we researched these waters. We made sure we found lakes that had good populations of pike and a strong possibility of catching a bigger fish. We did also make sure we researched by talking to some local people. We had Doug over at the Sportsman's Cove Bait Shop in Webster, who kind of led us on to some of these lakes. Dennis Foster, who knows some of these waters, kind of helped us target in. Local experts like Rick Smith that really helped us fine-tune our locations. And then we had the help of Mike Rogers with the Snow Bear so we could get the access that we needed. Without that, we really couldn't have got out here given all the snow and slush that we had. Phenomenal day. I've always enjoyed tip-up fishing for pike. It was probably one of the better days that we've had all winter. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching us catch these fish as much as we enjoyed coming out here and filming the show for you today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again here next time on Tom Gruenwald Outdoors.
TGO has been brought to you in part by HT Premium Ice Tackle, Polar Fire Gear. This is how it's done. Vexilar. Ice fishing begins when you turn your Vexilar on. And Tourism Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, Canada's best freshwater fishing. TGO, where it's all ice fishing all the time.